Good day,
Magandang araw. Hi everyone. I am Curves Martinez
and my name is Vince Rosell.
and today we are here to present this video about the unforgotten pre-Spanish writing system in the Philippines.
That will surely take us back to our roots to where our ancestors lie, but their messages are still wide awake, called baybayin.
Jawi,
Badlit,
Kulitan,
baybayin. Long ago, various writing systems were freely used. Then, everything changed when the colonizers attacked. Only the modern Filipino alphabet, based on the Latin script, is still used today, and it is made of 28 letters, including Enye and Nang. Times and a lot of years passed, and ancient scripts, though not widely used, still exist. Baybayin has piqued the interest of many Filipino youth. So, let's dive deep into its history and grammar, since people seem to value the ancient script's aesthetics. And furthermore, it could also help them look through their country's culture and history.
Baybayin is an archaic system of writing in the Philippines that predates the Spanish colonization that has developed sometime in the year 1002. And it originated from Bawi or other related Indic scripts. Baybayin is a Tagalog script or set of alphabets that are technically alpha-syllabary like the hiragana from Japan. It came from the root word baybay, which means to spell, and it is believed to be prominent in the Tagalog region in Luzon due to several of its scripture being found in artifacts written on bamboos and other materials like the Butuan ivory seal.
In 1593, the early times of Spanish colonization, Juan de Plasencia published the earliest Filipino translated book written in Baybayin. It is made for the sake of expanding Christianity in the Philippines and also teaching the natives their Latin text. However, when they've succeeded with their plan, the Baybayin scriptures of the said book have become Spanish, therefore making way for the Latin text that we are very familiar with today, but getting rid of the former native script.
Speaking of baybayin, many of you may have heard alibata, used interchangeably to pertain to this Asian script. Alibata was invented just in the 20th century by a member of the Old National Language Institute, Paul Versosa. It is based on Maguindanao Moro letter positioning after the Arabic alif bata, removing the F, sound just for a more euphonic pronunciation. Nonetheless, the term alif bata does not have any connection to the native Filipino script, baybayin.
Now that you have learned the history of Baybayin, join me in learning its grammar and symbols. Just as said before, Baybayin is an Abugidas writing system, also known as alpha-syllabary, where a character or titik represents a consonant-vowel pair, where the vowel notation is lower leveled compared to the consonants. For example, rather than spelling the word Pilipino as Pilipino, it is spelled as Pi-li-pi-no using Baybayin characters. Baybayin has 17 characters that is composed of 3 vowels and 14 consonants, where consonants with diacritics or kudlit, such as dash or dot, that may be placed on top or bottom, and virama that is written as cross or X at the bottom of the character to change its sound and meaning that you will learn later at the video. Now, let us start at familiarizing ourselves with the vowels or patinig. The vowels or patinig in Baybayin is written as follows. A, which sounds like the A in apple, A. E are used interchangeably, which may be the reason why the word lalaki and lalaki in Tagalog we hear in the modern days sounds different but mean the same thing. O and A are also used interchangeably. The characters of vowels are not written with diacritics or mga kudlit. However, consonants use kudlit to refer to a consonant with a different vowel pair, but without kudlit, the consonant characters are pronounced with a, as shown on the screen. Looking at the Katinig characters of Baybayin, you may notice that the characters of da and ra are also used interchangeably and say, "Isn't that confusing? How can people identify the words with ra or das?" Well, you are right for thinking that, but this also explains why there are many words with D and R are used correspondingly, like marami and madami in Tagalog language. Notably, the Tagalog dialect in Morong, where the D's in words are changed into R's.
Moving on to the Katinig or consonant characters with diacritics, the number of Katinig characters when written with kudlit will increase from 14 to 42. Dash or dot written at the top of a character would change the consonant A syllable pair into consonant E or I. For example, ba with a dash or dot at the top will change it into be, B. On the other hand, consonant syllables with dash or dot at the bottom will make it sound bo, bu. Additionally, even though Baybayin is an alpha-syllabary writing system, or simply put, characters present syllables rather than a standalone letter, the letter is still used to spell Tagalog words like our beloved Filipinas. Pilipinas is spelled by syllables as shown on the screen. As you can see, P and Li characters are written with a dot at the top to change the consonant A syllables into consonant E or I. Na character is written as is, and sa character is written with another kudlit. Avirama, pamatay tinig, cross, which can also be written as X to silence the vowel in the syllable, leaving the consonant S alone.
Dash or dot that will be placed on top or bottom, and cross or X at the bottom of the character to change the sound of the syllable is very crucial in writing Baybayin, because if you don't, the word will sound very differently. For example, P, Li, P, Na, and S written in Baybayin without kudlit will make it sound like pa, la, pa, na, sa. To completely get the hang of writing in Baybayin, you must familiarize yourself with every character first.
Second, you must know the rules of using kudlit and virama to spell words correctly.
Lastly, you must practice, practice, and practice. That is the only way to keep improving after all.
That is all, student. Now that you have learned the characters and rules of Baybayin, you must also learn proper characters for punctuations, but that is a topic for another video.
Thank you for listening. We hope that you have learned a lot. Goodbye.